ho, ho, ho. It's me, Santa Claus.
I sound real skinny.
Yeah.
I'm skinny.
Well, you've seen Rudolph. I fatten up the day of.
That's right. That's a lot. What a strain on your heart, Mr. Claus, to drop all that weight and gain it back in a single night.
Hey, you know what? I'll live forever.
That's right.
Because I eat magical reindeer meat.
That's right. There's always 8 pulling Santa's sleigh, but nobody says there's only 8 reindeer around. He's just swapping them out. He's on his 207th Donner.
Yeah, I don't know why you're talking as if I'm not sitting right next to you.
I'm sorry, I just keep forgetting it's you because you're skinny.
Let me put John back on the mic.
All right.
I'll walk away. Goodbye.
Okay. All right. Bye, Santa. See you at Christmas.
Hey, it's me, John
I missed
Saluga.
you. How are you, buddy?
I'm good.
You're
man.
looking great.
Thank you. Well, you know what? I always feel like I look my best around the holidays.
That's right. And we're here hanging out at the cabin in the woods, sitting by the fire because it's Christmas in December.
That's right.
The event, it's kicked off.
We are sharing a Christmas special from our past every week this month. And today is a good one. It is called Science Man. From what?
It's a great one.
Oh.
I'm hyping. I'm trying to sell. You know what? Get out of here. Let's get Santa back over here.
Okay, all right.
Skinny Santa.
I'm sorry.
Come back.
Jesus Christ, what's his problem?
I don't know. That
Off
fucking
night.
guy, right? Tell me about it, Skinny Santa.
Well, I'll tell everybody. This is my favorite episode of Super Live Adventure. It's called Science Man, and it's all about saving Christmas. One of my favorite Christmas movies because it tells the true story of me, Santa Claus.
That's right. That's right. Told through the eyes of Kirk Cameron, Growing Pains own Mike Seaver.
Yes, my friend Jesus told him the story, and he made a movie about it.
You know what? Thank all the gods he did, because this movie is total crap, and we rip it apart, and you're gonna enjoy.
I'm offended. I'm leaving.
Get the fuck out of here, John.
Yeah, what?
All right, I missed you, buddy. Listen, don't send that other asshole back.
All right.
You stay here.
He's still standing right there.
I know he could hear me. I'm not getting anything for Christmas, am I?
No, you and me both.
All right. Well, you know what? At least we got this episode.
We're going back to 2016, baby.
Yeah.
And I hope you enjoy.
Yeah.
Science Man.
Can I have the mic again for just 1 sec?
Oh,
Hey.
this come on.
No, I know you're trying to start the show, but he was supposed to promote the Little Chub Club as well, and he did not.
Oh, all right. Go for it.
Guys, the first 300 episodes of Super Live Adventure, which is filled with gems like this one, they're all available on Patreon. If you become a member, just go to superliveadventure.com, click on the link for the Little Chub Club, become a member today, support these guys.
That's right. Hey, kids, listen to Santa, all right?
Yeah, you know what? You don't want to be on my naughty list.
Gosh, no.
No, not me, Santa Claus.
The real
Anyway,
skinny Santa.
All right, I'm going to get out of here. People need to hear the episode already. I just,
Go do.
John is having an off night.
Yeah, go do whatever you got to do, Santa. Go do your Santa thing.
All right.
Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, John. Who could that be?
Have you been a good John Zaluga this year?
I'm one of the better John Salugas.
You're the best John Zaluga I know.
Welcome to the Christmas special of the Slap Podcast. Ho, ho, wee, ho. This is episode 124.
Yes.
The most Christmassy number of all.
That's right.
Yeah, I bet you didn't know that.
I didn't know that. I thought it was 25.
But 1 plus 24
Is 25.
is 25.
You are a mathematical Christmas genius.
Oh! Oh!
Well,
Yeah.
I'm John Saluga. We already said that.
I'm Chris Sorrentino, Santa Claus sometimes, baby. Wink.
Winky wink. Wink wink. Oh, I'm going to become a Santa.
You wait, what?
Yeah, I didn't realize that.
You're going to become Oh, yes,
Yeah,
by
that's part
having
of
by being a dad. Yes,
Never
you become
looked
a
at it
Santa.
that way. I just thought of that.
True.
I'm gonna be Santa Claus next year.
Yeah. John has a baby on the way in like a month.
In a month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're becoming a Santa.
I'm gonna be a Santa Claus.
That's pretty cool.
That
It's
is fun. It's fun. I mean, I used to, I'm much older than my I mean, I have my brother who's a year younger than me, and then there's like 4 half siblings split up between, different parents and stuff.
Yeah, you got it all.
It's a whole thing. But
Yeah.
my sisters who are much younger than me, I would help out with like hiding presents, and also at Easter time, like hiding eggs.
Okay.
And I remember.
I don't do the egg hunt. I never did egg hunts. I don't do them now. I don't.
Oh, even as a kid, you didn't do it?
No.
What would you? So you just got a basket with
Yeah.
candy in it?
Yes, chocolate and like a toy.
Okay. We
Yeah.
would dye the hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah.
We'd color the eggs.
Yeah, I do that.
And then we would leave the eggs out because I know
Yeah.
people do it different ways. But like it wasn't like the Easter Bunny brought eggs. We would just have eggs on the table, and he would come and take the eggs and hide them.
All right, and just scatter them about.
Yeah, and that's one thing I learned early on, especially when it was like my mother, but also me and my brother hiding it. Like you had to have a count on those eggs.
Yeah,
because we had that Easter.
Easter.
Oh, it's the worst. When you're like, all right, we got 11 eggs. There's one more somewhere. Oh, just an egg going bad somewhere in the house. My grandpa used to help, and my grandpa was funny because my sisters would be like 5 and 3.
Yeah.
And he would hide an egg like in the knife drawer. You know what I mean? He was like that old man. He literally did that once, and I was like,
Right next to the matches.
Like,
why?
Yeah, just like taking like a plate off like an outlet. You know what I mean? Like shoving eggs in the wall.
Shoving eggs in the...
Like just a bunch of
Just stuffing egg salad in a socket.
What a Christmas special. We're talking about Easter, right?
Oh,
Right off the bat.
we are the worst.
The worst ever.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, this is going to be the worst Christmas special you've ever done heard.
We've been promising so much. Let's paint a picture for you right now.
Yeah.
What time is it even? It's late.
Oh gosh.
It is it's midnight. Exactly midnight.
It's midnight here up at the North Pole.
And we're recording this a few days before Christmas. So
It's today the 20th?
It's the
Yeah.
20th. It's this. Well, it just became December 20th.
Look at us.
So it's like Monday night,
excuse me.
Tuesday morning, hanging out in Chris's place.
Drinking? What are you drinking?
I'm drinking scotch.
Yeah.
And
What is that, the Glenlivet?
this is Glenlivet 12.
Oh.
And you are drinking some beer.
I'm drinking a combination, which is... Hey, you ring your bell before I...
Ring the ring bells. That's my favorite Christmas. I'm going to talk about my favorite Christmas song tonight.
Oh, all right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
all about ringing bells,
This
Chris.
is an all Christmas episode.
It's all about ringing bells.
Ringing those bells. I'm drinking a Saranac cold brew coffee lager. I almost said coffee lager.
Coffee lager.
Like I wasn't from New York City.
coffee lager.
A coffee waffy. I was shipping that. Sewer juice, we calls it around here. I'm drinking the coffee lager, and it made me want to also make a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
So I'm drinking a hot coffee and a cold beer. So I'm going to ring 2 bells, okay?
all right.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling, ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Yeah. Coffee and beer.
Coffee and beer. Oh, that's disgusting.
But I also it smells. I could go for coffee and that too. But I'll be up all
Coffee
night.
and scotch. I mean, that's a 80s stockbroker staple.
Yeah,
no? Isn't
that's
that
how
like,
you do things.
Yeah, it's like if you ran the building from Gremlins 2, you were drinking.
I gotta watch. We've been talking about Gremlins every goddamn episode.
I did not. I didn't want to
Every
bring up Gremlins
episode,
again.
and we gotta
Enough of Gremlins.
Yeah, but I need to watch. I haven't seen Gremlins 2 in forever. We talk about it all the time, and then I realize a lot of it's fuzzy for me. I need to go back.
But it's not a Christmas movie. Gremlins
No.
is a Christmas movie. So.
And Gremlins 2 is not.
Yeah, so we'll leave Gremlins 2 alone.
Okay. Yeah, it's Christmas.
It is Christmas. Speaking of movies,
Chris and I. This is Chris's idea.
yeah, this is for the Christmas show spectacular.
Yeah,
We had the Rockettes come over.
That's right.
We put on an old VHS tape with the Rockettes hanging out, kicking their legs on the couch. There was like fucking 70 of them. How many Rockettes are there?
70.
70
Yeah.
on the nose.
Oh, yeah.
On the reindeer nose.
Everybody knows that. You
Yeah.
know that. 70 Rockettes came over.
They filled up. They ate all the pretzels in the house. They ate all the goodies, and they sat on, took over all the couches. There was nowhere left to sit.
Yeah. And we just kind of, you and I sat on the floor.
Yeah.
Right in front of the TV, Indian style.
Yeah, in our pajamas.
With the Rockettes behind us.
Yeah.
And we watched a Christmas special? A Christmas movie?
I wouldn't call it a movie.
I don't want to call it a movie. I don't know what to call it. I've never seen anything like it.
Oh.
We've never seen this before.
No, it's said it's one of the worst movies ever made, and it's definitely the worst Christmas movie.
I mean, it's so bad that when it ended, we were trying to decide whether or not it was okay to call it a movie.
Yeah.
That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think that was a movie.
Yeah, I think it ended, and I was like, oh, that was the worst movie. And then, like, you looked at me, and it was like, yeah, I know, it felt weird saying movie. Like, I was just going to say that.
Didn't feel right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was Saving Christmas from 2014, starring Kirk Cameron and
Of Growing Pains fame.
Of Growing Pains. R.I.P. Alan
Thicke. That's what actually brought it up.
Yeah.
Because Alan Thicke just passed away.
Yeah.
I didn't know on the last podcast. You told me. And then that and talking about Christmas led
down
that
this
all led
path
here.
of disgustingness.
The worst, I mean,
Rest in Thicke.
if Alan Thicke didn't die, I don't think I
we
would.
wouldn't have a Christmas special.
Thanks, Alan Thicke.
Thank you, you jerk. I'm glad
Thanks,
you're
Mr.
dead.
Thicke.
Glad you're dead.
Oh, Jesus.
No, I'm glad he's dead too. We're gonna find out
Getting back to Easter.
what that's all about. Yeah. Also starring Darren Doan, who directed this.
Travesty. Starring and directed by. Yeah, what was his name?
Darren Doan.
He played Christian.
The character's name was Christian in a very Christian movie. Now, all right, this movie has a little bit of a weirdo history where it's super Christian propaganda, pretty much.
Yeah, Kirk Cameron became really difficult at the end of Growing Pains because they were he would refuse to do say certain lines.
Wouldn't do scenes with Satan any longer.
Yeah, but it was really like it was hard for them to do anything, right? Even like his relationship with like his girlfriend on the show was like hard to even like.
He couldn't like kiss or something.
He had all kinds of weird rules.
I think he did get married in real life, and his wife wouldn't let him like even like hug or.
It was a whole.
with
I
the
know it
girlfriend
just
on the
became really
show.
difficult, but he's like super. And by the way, anybody listening, Chris and I, we've gotten into religion before, and it's going to be impossible to not talk about it tonight. But
No, not with this.
But this goes
Pseudo
beyond.
movie.
This isn't me picking on somebody who's just religious. This is a guy who's like so insane into it that there's oh my god,
He's like
what
a Mel Gibson crazy.
Yeah, he was
You know
like
what I mean? Like that type of crazy. Where I don't want to pick on Christians, man. Hey, 'tis the season. You want to keep Christ in Christmas? You go ahead. I got no problem with you doing your Christmas stuff. I got no problem with you doing your Christy stuff. Just don't,
But this has
don't be a crazy person.
Yeah, because this kind of had that tone with other things where it's like, oh, what do you believe in? Facts? What are you getting? What are you getting your information from somewhere other than the Bible?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just really.
Yeah. What do you believe in scientists saving us all and such?
But we thought so. The thing you pointed out right away was like we watched it on Amazon Prime, which it's on. If you have Amazon Prime, you can see it free, and it's on YouTube.
You can see it on YouTube for free. Yeah.
Now, if you think you should pause this and watch it first,
no.
God, I mean, you shouldn't watch it ever.
We're saving you. God
you don't
put us here to save you.
Don't need to see
from
this.
seeing this movie.
It was so horrible, but it was misleading because you were excited about the artwork, and so was I.
Yeah,
because it's so the font is already. It's almost like
it's like Die Hard.
Yeah, it's like the Expendables, right? It's like that's what it looks like.
Yeah,
and it's Kirk Cameron busting through like a Christmas tree. There's like ornaments and money flying everywhere.
Yeah, but he's holding a snow globe with the nativity scene.
Yes.
So he's literally saving Christmas.
Yeah.
While he's like smashing through all the fake pagan Saturnalia bullshit.
It looked like an action movie. I was expecting like a low budget Jingle All the Way. Like I was expecting.
Yeah, I was too, or at least like something with like a narrative plot, or like
yeah. This is first of all, the way it opens up is insane. You want to talk about that because it's like
Yeah, it's if you want to call that an opening. Wait, which opening? Because it's like 3 openings.
this movie has a bunch of false starts.
Yeah,
a lot of logos coming up, and then video playing, and then more logos, and then more video, and then opening credits.
And video was right. It definitely wasn't shot on film. It's like low end.
Yeah, it's super low budget.
Yeah.
No budget.
I guess the first opening, it's Kirk Cameron sitting in a living room, probably his, by a fire,
and a tree, and
the whole nine,
the whole thing.
Yeah. And he's talking about the.
He's talking directly to the camera.
Yeah,
like the movie doesn't even start yet, and it's a lot of like he's getting into like the war on Christmas, but he's talking about how there's 2 types of people. There are people who are like. He's talking about like the anti-Christmas, but then he's also talking about Christians who are against all the pagan traditions.
Yeah, like how you don't even have a tree up or anything like that, and that's totally a slight on God, which is crazy. I knew a weird Christian dude. Like he was very like OCD crazy, and just happened to be Christian, so that like incorporated into that whole thing. So, like, he followed the Bible to the T.
Yeah.
Like, he wouldn't, like, even though I saw him every day, I worked with him, and we would talk and BS and stuff, he would never call me his friend, because as a pastor in the Bible, you can't be yoked with non-believers. Yeah, everything was literal.
Literally.
And he wouldn't watch television, because to act is to lie in front of the face of God, and that's a big sin.
Jeez.
Yeah. So like to pretend you're somebody else. Okay. Is this shaking?
I wasn't sure. I thought I heard it might just be rubbing against the table or something.
All right. Yeah, maybe.
You're okay.
I'm trying to move it over.
Sorry. I think your mic cable might have been rubbing, but I hear more on these headphones than I do in the final recording.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's not that bad.
All right. So this guy was just totally bizarre and couldn't even watch television. And he kept moving from apartment to apartment, saying like he was smelling all this, or like he'd be too close to a cell phone tower, and like he actually did put up like a
tinfoil.
Yeah,
curtain.
like a Mylar on his walls, and like he's a complete crazy person.
That's rough.
Last time I saw him, he used to just take his shoes off and line them with paper towels on the inside, and then put his feet back in. I'm like,
what's that for?
I mean, soak up some kind of foot sweat. I don't know, some kind of weird thing where I was just like, all right, buddy.
I went to junior high school and high school with this kid. I won't even say his name. He was a Jewish kid, actually, whose family, I still see his brother once in a while, not super religious at all.
Yeah.
And in junior high school, somebody figured out that if you wrote God on a piece of paper and like threw it in the garbage, he'd like freak out. You know what I mean? Like it was it was like sacred once you did that. So kids, to fuck with them, they'd like write God, or they'd write God on like a napkin or whatever. And then this kid would like take it home. He must have had like a stack of garbage that said God on it because he couldn't let it go. But that's how it started, and then it turned into like he got super religious. But then it was like he cut people out. But then he started going into things.
Part with money because it says "In God We Trust" on it. He had to like keep all his money in a mattress too.
As long as it wasn't going in the garbage. It was like the idea of like destroying it was what got him.
All right.
Yeah. But no, he got super religious and like really like cut all his friends out and like wouldn't talk. But he was like making up his own rules. Like he wouldn't watch an R-rated movie. Like that's not a rule. That's not a thing.
I'm pretty sure that's not in the Bible.
Yeah, he had so much.
Films.
And then once that starts, and then you just cut yourself off from people, and you only surround yourself with people who are like, it gets like really, really not. And it's like beyond religion. It's like a guy who's got, in my opinion, he's got other issues.
That's how this fellow was. I was just mentioning. Yeah.
And religion's just the thing that he found.
Yeah.
Because if he, it's funny. I wonder, like, I wonder sometimes if there are people just as crazy, but they found another thing, like they're obsessed with UFOs instead of religion, and they're locked up somewhere.
Yeah.
But the religious person's okay
Like
because
the
there's a whole institution to
and-
like.
Yeah.
You got a place to go. You got a place where you belong, and it's like he's not crazy. He's religious, but there are some religious people that go way, way, way off the deep end. So we're watching a movie that is made by one of those guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Kirk Cameron's definitely one of those crazy
Off
people.
the deep end.
Yeah. And so it's him talking about these different people, how they either condemn Christmas or they celebrate it in their way, and he basically tells you, like, I'm going to tell you the real meaning behind all of this. Like, why do we have trees in our houses, and why do we decorate them? Why do we have presents under the tree? Who is Santa Claus?
Who's Santa Claus?
And the whole time he's drinking hot chocolate, and all he keeps mentioning is this fucking hot chocolate.
He loves hot chocolate, and he will stop and stare into the camera while slowly sipping hot chocolate. And you're just watching in silence Kirk Cameron make eye contact with you and drink a hot chocolate.
That's not the only times in this movie, air quote movie, where things just stop in silence, and there'll just be a long shot of somebody behind flowers. The flowers are in the foreground. Flowers are the real star. Poinsettias are the real star of this film.
People are gonna watch. People have to check it out to know what we're talking about. But it's so
I bet you
it's
somebody
so
listening,
fucking hard
at
to
least
make it through this.
One person has seen this.
Yeah,
Either on a goof, or they're that crazy, or they know someone who's a crazy person.
It was only like an hour and 15 minutes. And by the way, it's like 10 minutes before the movie starts. Everything's an introduction and credits and.
Well, they try to do one of these like you see something. There's like a little scene, like a weird flashback cutaway scene that you're like, what is that? And then later on, they show you exactly what that is. So, it leaves you waiting with bated breath.
They stretched so much.
Yeah, but
so.
And that scene was the Santa Claus scene, which we'll get into. There's a whole opening that was like this weird animated thing. It was like with the ska music, ska Silent Night playing. And later we're watching the credits. This movie came out in 2014.
Yeah.
This animated sequence was like from 2008 from some other thing, used with permission.
Yeah, so the credit sequence wasn't even an original. They just found a cartoon, like an animated nativity scene.
They could have went with anything. Do you think it was like, oh, well, kids will watch it. Cartoons, like they love Rudolph, and Christmas Vacation has a cartoon opening.
It does. It was kind of like a knock of. Yeah, it was like a knockoff of Christmas Vacation. I felt that too.
The intent with that.
It felt like it. It just didn't. I mean, it didn't need it, but then you realize they're also like they're just stretching so much out because they basically made 3 crazy points that could have happened in like 5 minutes. That's all this thing is. In the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that, and it's this whole credit thing, and it's CamFam, which is
CamFam Studios.
Yeah, which is Cameron's
family
thing, and then I guess this other guy is Hero for Baby. That was it. It was CamFam and Hero for Baby presents.
Oh, Hero for Baby.
Yeah,
this whole movie, you could tell was just Kirk Cameron's family, this guy Doan's family, and a bunch of people they knew from church and their family
in their somebody's house. It was probably Kirk Cameron's house. Yeah,
the whole movie takes place in a house, in a car outside. I'd say like 2/3 of the movie is in a car outside of the house of just Kirk Cameron and this other guy who's Doan, who's the director.
So he plays his brother-in-law.
Yeah, Christian.
And maybe is his brother-in-law. Like, I'm not even sure.
You know what? He really could be.
I haven't. We didn't do any research on this.
Oh God, he might. We watched it. That's enough.
Because the credits, there's like 4 last names. There's like 50 people and 4 last names.
Yeah, Wilson,
it's just families.
Wilson, Doan, Cameron, and I forgot the other last name.
But yeah, it's great. All right, so. I know we're all over the place, but it's like really what it comes down to. It's like there's a Christmas party after Kirk Cameron's long introduction, which is just him talking to the camera, telling you what the movie's going to be. Mm-hmm. But it's the crazy ramblings of a guy who's just like...
It's kind of like this podcast.
Yeah. The thing starts, and it's, I guess, really what the whole thing is about is Kirk Cameron's at his sister's house, and his brother-in-law...
Sister's played by fake Edie Falco.
Yeah. And his brother-in-law, who's this super tall dude with a weird goatee.
And a bad sweater with a hole in it.
Bad Christmas sweater with holes in it.
So odd.
He's basically looking around, and his name is Christian.
Yeah.
And he's actually like a super Christian, and he's one of the Christians who's getting mad at all the superficial shit. That people just want presents, and it's all about Santa and a tree.
He's like, we get this money you spend on toys that kids aren't going to play with in 3 weeks. You could spend that money on getting food and building wells. And, right? That's what he says.
So he gets upset, and he leaves his own house to go sit in his car.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned before his bad goatee, because him and Kirk Cameron both have this sporting like street beggar facial hair. They both look
It was
just
weird.
goaty and gross.
Yeah,
and-
Kirk Cameron acknowledges his as it's like time to grow that winter beard.
Yeah, he
Drink
does say
some
that.
more hot chocolate, and then he just kind of drinks hot chocolate and stares at you.
Yeah, oh, just getting into this weird 3-day-old beard. It's like a light beard. It's really like a disgusting, I don't want to take care of myself anymore type of beard.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just weird seeing
They
him
both
like
look.
that.
Yeah, they both looked very scraggly. Okay, so Christian's sitting in his car.
But then it would cut to Kirk Cameron would be him doing voiceover. Do you remember there's
Yes.
showing the tree and stuff, and he's talking about he's basically explaining what the brother-in-law is going through, and it's showing Christmas through his eyes.
Yeah.
And at one point he shows the tree, and he's like, some people just see the tree, Christmas decorations as perverted symbols with hidden meanings. And they showed a candy cane and then Christmas balls. It was like a dick and balls. The dick and balls of
Yeah.
Christmas.
That would be great if the wife turned around and a big tray of clams. Oh, here you go.
She's in the kitchen the whole
She's
thing.
in the kitchen.
isn't
She turns around from the fridge with 2 gallons of milk, holding them chest level. Disgusting. Spilling milk all over the floor.
She looked miserable the whole.
She was
time.
miserable because she's like, I look so much like Edie Falco, but I can't get Edie Falco roles or Edie Falco money.
She can't act. And I guess that's one of his real sisters.
That probably is.
It was so weird.
It wasn't Candace Cameron. I heard Candace Cameron wants nothing to do with that dude.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, she's like, that's my weirdo brother. I
He's
don't
too
deal with him.
crazy. And I think I don't know enough about it. I feel like she's religious too, just not so.
I think she's
Nutty about
normal Christian.
Yeah.
I mean, there's normal Christian. We're not saying all Christians are nuts. There's normal, everyday people who live a life, and they go to church, and they follow their whatever.
Yeah.
But then there are people like Kirk Cameron who are you could tell he's the type of guy, everywhere he goes, he's like, hey, are you, ready when you die? What do you, I'm just fucking changing my tire here, asshole. Keep walking. Tell your story walking, fuckface. No, but I mean, is your soul prepared to, one of those,
It's kind of how he is in this whole thing.
Yeah.
He's really like that.
That's what he's giving the narration of what must be going through his brother-in-law's head.
I'm very
'Cause
surprised,
he knows everything,
though.
this self-righteous, scraggly, bearded, washed-up 80s sitcom jerk face.
Oh, look, I was expecting an amazing Kirk Cameron action film.
What? It would be a Christmas
And I-
miracle if there was an amazing Kirk Cameron action film. That would never exist.
Most misleading artwork ever.
Amazing and Kirk Cameron don't
But
go together.
I knew it wasn't
pal.
gonna be good, but I thought it was his attempt at an action movie. It looks like an action movie, and instead it's him.
punching Santa out and
Yeah, that's
he
what
just rides a reindeer through
Dude, the
a
cover
window.
looks like he's just destroying decorations and stuff.
Yeah, would have
So-
been a much better movie. Him just
And-
they filmed him just going house to house kicking down
It'd
decorations.
be great. It'd be great. The day after Christmas,
Yeah,
Kirk Cameron just going around
just beating
tearing
the
your
shit
shit
out
down.
of lawn Santas and fucking just a handful of lights just punching out a reindeer.
Dude, I never expected him. I thought he was going to be trying to get a message across to somebody who was a non-believer. It was really
he's
weird.
gonna convert the old Jewish guy at the party or something.
This guy's in his car saying, "We waste all this money and time on all this shit. We could be could be using our money and our energy to feed children.
Yeah, he's
and
like,
dig
what's the point?
and dig wells
Yeah.
for communities that need clean water.
But
by the way,
Kirk Cameron, like, no.
That's the most Jesus-y thing ever.
That's super Jesus-y.
And the whole point of this movie is and Kirk Cameron literally, after the guy talks about that, he just goes, "You're wrong."
Yeah, because this is why we do all this.
And he justifies all the superficial bullshit and ties it to the Bible in the loosest fucking way.
Oh, like every which way. Like, oh.
What's the Christmas tree, Chris? We just learned.
The Christmas tree is really meant to well, first it's meant to symbolize
Yes.
because the tree of life that Adam and Eve ate the apple off of, because we all know from this film the Garden of Eden was the very first Christmas tree lot.
He said, by the way, this is
fucking-
not Chris making fun of it. He said the words,
Yeah.
"The Garden of Eden was the first tree lot."
Yeah.
And you're like, and he shows a lot with all the fluorescent lights hanging off a
Yeah.
chain link fence and everything. Like, and he's comparing that to the fucking Garden of Eden.
He's comparing that Garden of Eden and then like the fruit the fruit that Adam and Eve eat. It's like the decorations, the ornaments.
Yes.
Which then he ties into the Christmas tree is really the cross, because they're both made of wood.
Jesus was nailed to a tree.
Jesus was nailed to a spruce, a nice Douglas fir, maybe. And then if he was lucky enough, a little balsam fir. And then he was hung there like an ornament, which is really a piece of fruit. And it tied up why Jesus died for our sins. He died because of Adam's original sin.
Yeah.
So Jesus brought it full circle.
Jesus was the blessed fruit
He was the blessed
hung
fruit
from the tree.
by the hand of God, right? Didn't he say something like that?
Yeah, and then the brother-in-law, it was when he was saying like, he's like the Christmas tree, it was a celebration of the winter solstice. Cameron goes, "And who created the winter solstice?" God.
Yeah. Wait,
God did.
Who created the planets and stars that that spin around? And God. It was God. And then really quickly the brother-in-law he's like, "Oh, but then the Christmas tree, and then the Christmas tree, blah, 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 blah." Like he does a voice for everything.
The brother-in-law, the whole time he talks, he does. Chris, you said it. You said it was like he lives at Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah, and the Christmas tree's like, "Hey, hang something on me!" But then the fireplace is jealous and saying, "I want some stockings."
Did it the whole time.
Yeah, and the fire's roaring. "Oh, I want to toast some marshmallows in me." It's like that stupid Bugs Bunny PSA. Remember, like when you walk in, it's like, "Keep pot handles turned in. Don't touch me, kids. I'm hot, hot, hot." Like that.
Yeah, it was like that. Everything he said. I just don't know how to. I look in there and I see kids and they're looking at the present. It's like, "Oh, open me! I'm your present. Open me! There's a big old dick in my box." And then I look at the tree. Oh no! Hang on, ornaments on the tree. They're sitting in a car outside. It's Kirk Cameron and his brother-in-law sitting in a car in the rain.
It's terrible
for most of the movie. And everything the guy says, to me, is actually in line with Christianity. And then Kirk Cameron gives him the weakest explanation for why those things are actually connected to Jesus. And then every time the brother-in-law's mind is blown.
I was waiting for that scene where, like he says, raining on the car as they're talking. And like, something, Christian? You see that rain? It's God's tears because you don't believe in what Christmas really means. Like, I'm waiting for that. Like, you hear that thunder? It's God and the angels bowling. Like, stupid shit you tell a fucking 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Like,
I got all that stuff.
Oh, man.
The
Yeah.
angels were bowling.
The angels were bowling up there. Oh, it's another strike, Gabriel. Go die.
Bowling. Bowling.
Yeah. That's what they do. That's what angels do. I heard they got quite a league.
Heaven's wonderful, huh? This bowling.
All this time, I finally get to heaven. I still can't find a pair of bowling shoes that fit. this fakakta bowling alley up here in heaven.
Hey, can we? I gotta take the story out of the car though and back into the house.
You're daring.
DeAndre,
who could forget DeAndre?
they put a black guy in this because it was looking super white
but
for a bit.
He looks a little like he's maybe a little Middle Eastern too, maybe some Spanish.
Yeah,
he doesn't look completely 100% African American or Caribbean but he's
over the top, flamboyant.
Oh, boy,
You know what thought I had? It felt like it was like a dude at a Christmas party, like possessed by the Pine Sol lady. Like that's what he made me think of.
Dude at the Christmas
it's like
party,
ridiculous.
possessed by the Pine Sol lady.
Does that make sense? Does that sum him up?
Oh, that's pretty funny. Oh.
How bad was that guy? So there's a scene. Oh, so before the brother-in-law goes out to the car, he's talking to DeAndre. And DeAndre's just talking his ear off about how at work they're going to do away with Crazy Shirt Friday or whatever he called it.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Oh, the way it's like, they're going to they're going to do away with Crazy Shirt Friday. Then what's next? Thursday, then Tuesday, you know what's left? Wednesday. And Wednesday, the hump day, that's all we get. You know what they do to my people?
Like, turn into that. My people, you know, we gotta stick together. We gotta march. We're gonna organize a march. Like, that's what he's saying.
That's literally what he's saying. And then Christmas music starts playing, and it's the brother-in-law tunes out DeAndre, and it felt like a solid minute and a half.
It might have been
of DeAndre talking, but you can't hear him anymore. They muted him, and Christmas music is playing while a black guy talks, and you can't hear him talking.
You could tell it wasn't just a black dude talking. They were like, they like super like Midwestern white people, and they're like, be as black as you can be, DeAndre. Just black it up.
He went off and improvised.
And he's like dancing and waving his hand. You could tell it's like some real cheesy, corny, like white people that just don't know. Like, this is the first time they're like sitting in the same room with a black dude.
So there's an editor that was like, what if we just turn down his audio and play Christmas music for over a minute?
Yeah, while he's dancing. But there's not to ruin anything or jump ahead, but there's like a stinger at the end where it's DeAndre and his other friend. I call skinny Dennis Rodrigo, super fan Dennis Rodrigo. He kind of looked like a skinny version of Dennis.
That's true.
Who'd you say it was like Dennis and who had to be? Oh, that asshole. Yeah, I don't want to say that guy's name.
Yeah, another guy we know.
Oh, God. I don't want to know. Anyway, you can see they're sitting there like kind of improvising. They're like, oh, this is real funny. Let's add this thing. And you hear the director, you hear this Doan guy yell from off camera, or maybe Kirk Cameron, like, beatbox. Yeah. So like they make the black guy just start doing some beatboxing.
And his beatboxing
was good.
Was not terrible.
Yeah.
The other guy freestyling.
Wow.
Literally going like, say hi to your mother, say hi to your father, say hi to your daughter. Like, just like your
father doesn't like you. Why? You gotta write an essay paper.
But what did I do, Dad? This plant is alive. Like, he grabbed a plant.
Yeah. Like, the plant can hear me. Environment. Like, I'm not lying. That's what he said.
And then off camera, you hear somebody saying, Kirk Cameron. Kirk Cameron. And then he starts adding Kirk Cameron's name
into his whack freestyle.
Into his shitty freestyle. And I think it might have been Kirk Cameron.
It was definitely Kirk Cameron.
Saying his own name, but I will never know.
It might have been Jesus. We don't know.
What a fucking mess.
But sorry to fast forward. I just want to show you how corny these people were in, we'll get into even more how corny they were and how embarrassing they are to white people everywhere.
It was crazy. Yeah, I mean, we both have our notes in front of us. Is there anything, because there's plenty to talk about. I don't want to skip too far ahead.
I like that they didn't get into this theory that we had. They started talking about Santa.
Yeah.
And like Santa was this brutal dude in St. Nicholas was like beating up other bishops or something, and it was a whole
that Santa Claus is insane.
Yeah,
it's this younger, dirty, filthy looking bearded man.
Like he just crawled out of a trash can,
just wearing like wolf
Oscar
pelts.
the Grouch style.
And every time he walks out into the woods,
Yeah.
it's literally Saint Nick, and it's just
Yeah, he just
it's like wolves howling.
he beat up a bishop because he said Jesus was a werewolf. Right?
I think that's what happened.
But before they got into that, they were talking about like Jesus and Santa Claus, and we were like, no, like Jesus faked his death and is really Santa Claus. Like Jesus is like Elvis.
It felt like it was gonna
He got
go there.
too popular, so like he hung this other guy on the cross, and Jesus just like put on a bunch of weight, dyed his hair and his
Santa
beard.
Claus is just old Jesus.
Yeah, and what better way for Jesus to hide out than as the guy who like replaced him? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they would never suspect Santa Claus as Jesus.
I know.
Because all these Christians are like, oh, keep Christ in Christmas. Santa Claus took that shit away from him.
That's all this movie did to us. It made us start trying to make connections between.
But think of it logically. All of the magical stuff Santa does,
Yeah.
dude, that's Jesus power. Like he could go around the whole world, deliver presents in a single night, go up and down chimneys, and it's all Jesus power.
Just an old bearded dude performing miracles.
Yeah, old
Yeah.
Jesus.
Old Jesus.
Yeah,
I like it,
I
but
like the bread and wine has now become cookies and milk. That's the body and blood of Santa.
of Santa Claus.
Yeah. I think, dude, we're on to something.
I like it.
Reindeer apostles. I
Yeah.
think this is it. We should make a movie.
But the fact that Kirk Cameron justified Santa Claus with that story,
Yeah.
and it's the least. I mean, by the way, I kind of want to look back because it's Saint Nick. Did he kill a guy? He beat the shit out of somebody,
And they were like, they took away his title of bishop,
but then
But
made
then
him a saint.
then made him a saint because the people loved him so much because he just beat people up. And then he gave presents to kids.
He goes back home. He just beat a man maybe to death while wearing a wolf.
yeah.
So it's Saint Nick, and there's wolves howling, and he's beating a man in the woods
You
because
don't see
because
what
he thought
happens.
because that guy thought Jesus maybe was just a guy and not the Son of God.
Yeah, just not a deity, but like a prophet.
So the idea is that he saved, he kind of like saved the religion. Like
Yeah.
he beat the hell out of this.
You know what
guy.
he did to the guy, which is weird because they didn't show like if the guy was dead or not, but he put his head in a car door and was like slamming it over and over.
And Kirk Cameron loved it.
Yeah, it was like the Kingpin.
It was the most violent.
No, it was
Like if you
yeah.
showed that to a kid, it's like, oh yeah, no, Santa Claus is great. Look, and it's like Santa Claus. There's wolves howling, and he's beating the hell out of somebody.
Yeah.
Then he goes back home, and I don't know if that was his daughter or his wife. There's like a weird
think
girl.
it was his both.
I think you're right. That makes perfect sense. And he comes home and he's like got this crazy look in his eyes, and she goes,
like Charles Manson look.
and she goes, well, I hope you got that out of your system. Are you like? And she's like,
Yeah, how
and
they
they're-
talked back in 800 AD.
you got out of your system.
Yeah.
And they loaded up a sled with toys, and then he smiles and goes, ho ho ho, like,
Yeah,
And they
let's give presents to children.
and he just like killed a guy.
yeah.
Oh, Saint Nick! I would love it if just like that's what you hear. Can you imagine like if instead of reindeer it was like wolves in a
You
sled?
wolf up on your roof.
Yeah, wolves. Yeah.
Holy
Like in the middle of the night, you just hear like 8 wolves.
Oh.
You're like, Santa's here.
Just like they just snatch your dog and
Yeah.
run.
Oh my God.
They
Hide the cat.
yeah,
Like,
they snatch the oldest person in your house and take off. Like, what the fuck happened to Grandpa?
What a crazy Saint Nick.
Yeah.
The baby Jesus stuff, it's not even that funny to talk about, but it was totally convoluted.
He tried to make some connection, and I got lost even more than I could have.
It
Like
didn't make any sense. He was talking about the swaddling cloth
being the same as the cloth,
that he was wrapped in when he was put in the tomb.
like the Shroud of Turin, but they never said that.
But he got up and he left, and and it was still there. like, so the cloth was still there, which shows that no cloth could hold him, and that there was but there was a whole thing about when he was born that there were soldiers.
This was good.
Right, he said Herod's soldiers were looking to kill Jesus, and they were running around just killing babies.
Yeah,
I think I've heard that before, and I forgot.
When they showed a weird, it was like showed like a bunch of soldiers in fire, like just hacking at something for like a good minute. So like, it was
brutal,
dude. One sword swing, you're gonna kill a baby. They were like, like there was they were like Jason Voorhees swinging, and it was
violent. So then later, more Kirk Cameron like voiceover.
Yeah,
they showed just like a nutcracker, like a toy soldier.
Yeah,
and he's like, and the toy soldiers are symbolic of Herod's soldiers.
Yeah,
and I'm like, the guys that killed slaughtered babies.
Yeah.
And then, but he just goes...
I told you, they put the babies in their mouth.
And then he does that weird thing, and he goes, but everyone played a part in the story of Jesus. Like, his thing is just like, they're not... Like, they were all a necessary part of it.
Yeah, they're not a threat anymore. They were just part of the thread.
But it's like, oh, I'll tell my kid that. It's like, no, this is... It's not a meaningless thing. This thing that we use to crack walnuts is symbolic of soldiers who slaughtered babies looking for Jesus.
Yeah.
And that's why we decorate our house with it? Like... No, it's not. Look, good for you for finding a soldier in the Bible that you could connect to a wooden soldier. But no, because it doesn't even look like that kind of a soldier.
No, it's like an English beefeater guy, right? What would you call those?
It's like a royal guard almost.
Yeah,
like,
they're not like Herod's soldiers. They're gonna look like Roman-y dudes, right?
That was so... fucking
like
insane.
Centaurians
so
or something. Oh, there was so many different, like, just ridiculous fucking connections he's trying to make. Like, the presents under the tree are supposed to represent the skyline of Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Like, that's why you stack presents.
But
like,
what did he say? The future New Jerusalem? He said something like...
Oh,
he said something. He said, like...
I think it looked like they tried to make a connection of like Jesus' return, so it's like this is supposed to look like Jerusalem, and then it keeps building up New Jerusalem. They were like drawing an overlay, like tracing over the present.
You're
and
skipping ahead though, because that's an important part. But
sorry.
the way because the way it leads into that is the craziest thing ever.
Yeah,
which is when the brother-in-law comes back in the house.
Oh yeah, that's
so the brother-in-law who the whole time is just like. He's like, I don't want to go back in the house. Everybody's gonna be like, bro, I was sitting in the car all day. He really does.
Steering wheel. I think you should stay here all day.
And he's like, can't you tell him I have a rash? I just have a rash and I had to leave. That's me and Chris are sitting there going, we were voicing a rash.
The rash would say.
I'm itchy. This is my brother Lumpy. We ruined Christmas.
How about a little calamine lotion, Scarecrow?
Well, I'm calamine lotion.
Merry Christmas. Pink. I smell funny.
Dude, I'm going to drive my wife nuts because I think I'm going to be that guy. That's how I'm going to spend Christmas.
You spend Christmas doing voices for everything.
Everything.
Yes.
And she's like, oh, can you hand me that pen? Oh, hi, I'm a pen. What are we gonna do? Write a whole story? She'll murder me in my sleep.
Yes. I'm mightier than the sword. Go die. You stab yourself repeatedly in the forehead with a pen. I hate myself. Merry Christmas.
Just losing my mind. Shaving in a mirror and screaming for every hair that I cut.
No. The great beard holocaust on Christmas morning.
You and I are the only people on the planet who saw this movie. There are people maybe still listening to this podcast going like, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
You know what? Maybe watch it.
I think you might have to.
It's
a challenge. It is. If it was not for this podcast and really with you,
it's terrible.
I needed a buddy to get through. I needed to watch it with someone.
Yeah, it's like war. You don't go through it alone. You got to have Bubba Gump guy.
I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have done it alone.
Yeah,
I couldn't have done it alone. I would have bailed on it. But we made like a commitment to get through this thing. So
for you guys, wait, I just want to say before the brother comes running in there,
because you got to tell
the brother-in-law. No, but before that, the Santa Claus story is the one that wins him over. That's what finally, because he's telling the story of the tree.
Right, what does he say?
So he turns around to Kirk Cameron and goes, Santa is the man. And Kirk Cameron goes, yeah, he is. That's actual fucking, that's actual dialogue from the film. So he comes in.
He talks the brother-in-law into going back into the house.
Which is a scene shown that's also at the beginning of the movie. You just see the brother-in-law, doors open with light behind him. You see the brother-in-law standing there. That's the third false start of the movie. So when the movie starts, you get the first time you get Kirk Cameron sitting there drinking his hot cocoa, talking to you about his weird crap. The second one is you get a little bit of the Saint Nick guy.
A lot of logos, a lot of credits.
Yeah. And then it jumps to the brother opening the door, which is the scene you see now at the end of the movie.
Right. At that point, you're like you got to be like 15 minutes in. It hasn't really started yet.
Yeah, and you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
So now at the end, it shows you what this is. So he comes in.
How that's shot crazy.
It's
a beautiful house.
It
so
really
it's like
is.
Big,
That's what makes you think it's
like
Kirk Cameron's.
big double doors, and there's like a bright light behind him.
Yeah.
That maybe supposed to be the headlights of the car he was in. I can't even tell.
Or the light of God. Because also, if you notice, when he decides to come back into the house, it stops raining.
Yeah.
The cloud is lifted.
Yeah.
And then the light is shining behind him.
The rain really stands out because you know the sound of rain hitting the top of a car?
Yeah.
That's half the movie.
Yeah, it really is.
Like they could have. You don't need the sound effect.
Yeah.
The actual sound effect of rain hitting the roof. But I think they just sprayed the car with water and recorded whatever they got.
You know what the working title of this movie originally was?
What?
Rain on a Hot Toyota Roof.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it really is. Merry Christmas, I'm out.
Merry Christmas. This is our big special we promised everybody. We watched the horrible special, and now we're describing it to you.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, sons of bitches.
What you get.
This is what you get.
For liking us.
Oh, well, come on. We did 100. There's 124 episodes, and we're out.
We do have an amazing musical guest coming up,
we
though.
do have
It's going to make up for
we do have we do have a special musical
movie.
guest. Yeah, that's true. There is something to look forward to.
Oh,
Thank you for reminding all of us.
guys are going to have your minds blown.
So the guy swings the doors open. He's backlit, and it's like crazy bright light. He's got this goatee and glasses, and he's staring at his own house.
It's shitty sweater.
Like he's staring at like into heaven, right? Like he's like wide-eyed. He's seeing everything different. And it's this Christmas party, and there's DeAndre and
fake Edie Falco.
Edie Falco in the kitchen looking miserable.
She's like hiding behind a big espresso machine or coffee urn or something. She's like,
it's a lot of slow motion.
It's just shot so weird. The whole thing, not even just the scene, the whole fucking movie shot handheld, shaky.
There's a lot of people's their faces
out of
blocked.
focus.
It'll be like somebody's like the top of somebody's head from behind a poinsettia.
Yeah, that's what
and it'll be like a
flowers
full
of the star
like
of
20
this movie.
seconds of that'll be the shot.
It's just weird. It's just very amateur.
I never expected what happened next.
No, I don't think anybody did.
Never in a million years.
So much like Angels Bowling, this guy.
DeAndre sees he's got a crazy look in his eyes.
Oh yes, that's true.
And DeAndre yells, "Back up, everybody!" And everybody backs up.
Yeah.
It's a party of kids. It's a Christmas party. So he yells, "Back up, everybody!" And then Christian does what?
And he just runs and just
all slow
jumps.
motion.
Yeah, like he runs like a couple of steps, like he sprints and just jumps on the floor. And I think at this point it cuts back to the family and people are screaming. You hear like ah!
Screaming and running away.
Yeah.
Right? They're backing up and they're like leaving the room.
Oh! You hear the wolf out now. You don't hear the you don't hear Beer Wolf from the 2-car garage like I imagine. So he hits the floor.
Beer Wolf and Teen Wolf and sorry. Can we put every Saint Saint Nick and the Wolfmen? Just a whole.
Oh God!
Just
all
every
the
wolf.
wolves.
Oh, all of them. Benicio del Toro's in there, right? It's like Jack Nicholson.
Yes. Fucking. Oh God.
We could do this.
Who's the original? Lon Chaney? That's the original Wolfman,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Lon Chaney.
I think that's the original. You got
the
like
guy from Monster Squad, whoever that jerk is.
Oh, that guy's great. That's the guy that's the guy from Real Genius who lives in the.
Oh,
I know you hate Real Genius. He pops up in The Sopranos too. That guy. He's like a therapist or something. He's like a balding. Yeah.
Oh, he went bald.
Yeah,
Wolfman went bald.
Yeah. I think he pops up in The Sopranos. Oh, there's a bunch.
Oh,
yeah.
bald Wolfman. That's a cool Wolfman.
Teen Wolf 2.
Teen Wolf 2.
You know
yeah. Teen Wolf
and Teen Wolf 2.
Oh boy! And there's the MTV show Teen Wolf. There's a bunch of teenage wolves running around, John.
That's true. Oh, and then there's what's his name from like Twilight?
Oh,
who's
God.
that? Is that Edgar or no? Edward's the vampire, and I don't.
Team Edward.
I only know this through my wife because she used to watch this stuff.
Team other guy.
I saw the first movie in the theater with her, and I laughed.
Right?
I laughed so.
Team Jake?
Maybe
Jack?
Oh, people are listening, getting mad.
Oh yeah.
I saw that first movie in the theater, and I remember I started laughing in the middle of it, and they were clearly fans, but it got to a point where I think my laugh got a little contagious. Like my wife was elbowing me, but then I started laughing, and then at one point there was I think I've told this before. There's a doctor walks in, and you're not supposed to know he's a vampire yet, but he's got white like you could see where the white makeup ends. You know what I mean? Like
he's sucking on a bag of blood.
He came in, and I just way too loud was like, "Who's that, Dr. Dracula?" And and the theater Christine got kind of mad, but like it was that thing where like I'm kind of the asshole in the theater who's talking,
Dr. Dracula.
but I made the whole theater laugh.
Good.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was just like,
good.
"Who's that, Dr. Dracula?" And just the place went. It was great.
I've come to test your blood.
I killed it, Twilight.
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. You brought the house down. I thankfully have never seen a Twilight movie.
Dude, Saint Nick, I don't know what we're gonna name this episode, but can you just draw that crazy Saint Nicholas with a sled pulled by 8 wolfmen?
Yes. But we just had a werewolf for the last night.
Oh, we did.
On the all werewolf.
Well, it's Christmas.
All werewolf, all gremlins.
All the time. Hey, everybody, we're changing it up. This podcast was almost called the Wolf Dork Podcast. That's true.
Yeah.
It was almost called that.
Yeah.
And we decided there are people who are really offended by the word dork, and we just didn't want to limit ourselves from being listed places.
Yeah, we don't want to just be all nerds.
That's like a weird
thing. We chose the name
but...
of a George Lucas stage show.
From Japan.
Oh, man.
No one knows what we're talking about.
No.
You know what? This is for the fans.
It's for the fans.
This is for the fans, everybody.
So
the guy, the guy runs in.
He's...
Hey!
A little fart.
That was real. Ooh!
Oh, double decker.
Hey, that's out. The promise. No fake farts on this show.
No, we don't fake fart.
No.
That came straight out of my ass.
And Chris has his own microphone. That's his and his alone.
The brown mic. The yellow mic.
The brown mic. We're 53 minutes into talk. We're almost talking about this for longer than the movie is. We gotta be careful.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh boy! All right, so this asshole
Christian the Christian
jumps. He does a running jump, lands on his belly, and just slides across his living room floor
toward camera. He's coming at you.
Yeah, but he plows into the presents with his head.
I know.
It just was really odd.
And then he lays on the floor on his stomach.
Yeah.
Staring at the presents, imagining that they're Jerusalem.
Yeah, that's when that little bit appears.
How long? He's just on the floor
with the tree of life.
How long was he on that floor? Just staring at everything.
At least, I would say minute and a half, maybe 2.
It was so crazy. The whole.
And think of how long that is. I know you're like, oh, I'll be back in a minute. But like, think of sitting through a minute of a film of a guy just who opened his door, ran, slid across it, and laid there for a minute.
A minute, at least. Maybe longer.
You know what? I forgot to mention this when we did the Thanksgiving show. I did something and it made me think of that. I ate so much on Thanksgiving that I mean, it's kind of holidays, right? But it made me think of it, just laying on the floor, oddly.
Sure.
I ate so much, right? So afterward, my in-laws are over, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like fucking stuffed. I'm sitting by my desk, and I'm just like, ugh. So my kids are like, hey, we want to do like turkey hands and stuff. Can you come do it with us, Daddy? I'm like, oh. And they're doing it on the floor, and I'm like, I can't right now. They're like, please. Well, everyone's like, all right. So my whole family's sitting around. I'm like, oh, and I literally just went off the chair, like just leaned forward, fell on the floor. No bracing, I just fell on my face. Laid there for like 30 seconds, look at everyone, and just went. This huge fart that was just as long. It was like a 30-second fart. It was like, my whole family was like, all right, it's time to go. Like this, they packed up and decided to leave. Like I cleared the house and just laid there. I
remember. I dated this girl Lisa. You remember Lisa, the dancer, and I was hanging out with Lisa, and I was like just laying on like a living room floor, and she came over and like sat on me unexpectedly.
Oh yeah,
trying to be sexy, and just like right away, just squeezed one out because I had been holding it all night.
Yeah,
and I turned red. You know what I mean? I was like, I was like 23, and I went, I was like, I'm so embarrassed. And she like laughed, and she goes, it's fine, I don't give a shit. And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm so gassed. I was holding that all day. And she's like, if you got to fart. And I went, really? She's like, yeah,
that's the
fart.
wrong thing to tell a guy.
And I let loose what I've been holding all night. And it was like
bombed Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. It was almost like like long. And she I think she was cool with it for like a third of the way through that fart. And then I realized, totally grossed her out. Like, hey,
like, I take it back. And she's trying to funnel the fart back in your ass. She's got a little chimney blower thing. Just sucking it up and put it right up your ass.
But I went from being embarrassed to like, this chick's cool with farts. And then like just the worst fart ever.
I'm glad I brought these beans. You just going for it.
And she just shot herself in the head. That's it. Just boom.
Oh boy! All right,
Lisa, if you're listening, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So that's basically the end of the movie. Except for like you think.
Well, they make a joke that he talks to his wife and it gets kind of sexy.
Yeah,
and it kind of
think
sounds.
It's gonna end with a dramatic kiss.
He's like, oh, you know what I want to do? And she's like, what, Big Papa? Like she says, like, and it's, and then it's like a freeze frame, and James Cameron's like,
James Cameron. We wish it was James Cameron at this point.
James Cameron comes in and goes, cut.
Yeah,
stop.
These people should all be blue.
Oh God, Kirk
this isn't the sequel to Avatar.
I should. I'm drinking my scotch. But yeah, Kirk, like freeze frames, and it's Kirk Cameron just saying like, oh, you know, in a movie, typically this is where there's a romance. Like he's in. It's already moving slow as shit.
Yeah.
And then it just...
he's like winking the whole time at you with this bullshit narration.
It plays again, and Christian tells his wife that somehow in the time that he slid across the floor and crashed his head into a bunch of presents, that he choreographed...
Popped his head on a wrapped up Rubik's Cube, whatever his kid was getting.
That he choreographed a dance scene with everyone in the house to express his feelings about Christmas.
The God Squad.
The God Squad.
That's the name of the dancers.
Yeah, they were the God Squad dance crew, and they're really, it's mostly doing the robot in front of a Christmas tree.
It's like three chubby 15-year-old chicks, another girl, and like the gay guy in their church. Like that's really what the God Squad is.
Dancing Christian break dances.
Christian break dances.
Not well.
No. Well, that's what I mentioned
but
before.
But surprisingly well.
Well,
like for Christians?
That's what I mentioned before. I was like, this is, one of the scenes which embarrasses white people, because this one takes the taco, pal. This is embarrassing. Embarrassing to the point where you're like, oh man, dude, this just looks bad on everybody.
They cut to like an old Asian man on a couch we've never seen before.
No. Yeah, where did he come from?
With like a cappuccino or hot chocolate, I guess, with hot chocolate with whipped cream.
No, he
That's
was in the greenhouse trimming bonsais, apparently.
And he's just like, this is why I love Christmas. And then like, he like slurps.
Oh,
and credits roll.
Yeah.
Action font. They're sticking to the artwork at the beginning like you just saw an action movie.
Yeah.
And then fucking bloopers.
Oof.
That aren't bloopers.
Yeah, if you didn't have enough of, what's his name?
DeAndre.
If you didn't get enough of DeAndre's hilarious antics in this film, don't worry, folks. There's a whole blooper reel of DeAndre's flubbed lines and dance moves. You could fucking sit through for another 15 minutes.
Is this the worst Christmas thing you've ever seen?
It's
up there. It feels like
there.
it. I mean, I mentioned Jingle All the Way earlier. Like, I hate Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, Jingle All the Way is a terrible film. It's probably better than this.
It's got to be better than this. But
oh man, sorry.
Christian sliding across the floor.
Yeah,
for me,
I cracked up.
For me, made like it made if it needed to end there though.
Yeah.
It happened, and I was just like, I would tell everybody to watch this movie
just for that
to get to that point.
It is funny,
and then it keeps going.
But it's not supposed to be as funny as we think it is.
And the Saint Nick, the violent Saint Nicholas shit with the wolves howling, is so fucking funny to me. I want to make a movie just about that guy. I want to do that.
And then he goes back to his weird kid wife. It's just so...
I hope you got that out of your system.
Oh, boy.
Well, that's it, everybody, in a nutshell. That's not it for us. We're still going. But we just talked for a little over an hour about a horrible... That's why I don't even know what to call it.
Oh, and by the way, they danced to a hip-hop version of Angels We Have Heard on High at the end of that movie. That's what they were dancing to.
Yeah.
It wasn't good. It was not good.
And it was like, it's a lot of like auto-tuning and people doing the robot and breakdancing and bad
breakdancing. Bad dance move. I would say that is the worst Christmas movie I've ever seen.
And I did want to add, I'm sorry. Cameron added on this thing too. In the end, this is what he said, and this is what's so crazy.
I forgot. He pops back up at the end sitting by the fire the opening.
I think Christian said the most Christian thing, which is just like, I'm sitting here and I know it's Christmas, but I'm kind of getting upset because people in the world are suffering, and we're just doing all this materialistic bullshit that I can't see how it connects to the Bible.
Yeah.
Kirk Cameron at the end says...
This is what he says.
Hey!
Sorry.
Wow, new podcast record.
Fart my ass off tonight.
That's all right, buddy.
It stinks on this side of the table.
You know what?
Oh!
Just, you know when someone has headphones in?
Yeah.
It's just...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I say
in both ears. It's like two assholes farting into your head. That's what that sounds like.
It's just, and whenever anyone farts on the show anymore, you have to follow it with a wolf.
So, hey, I'm down. I love the things that happen organically on this podcast. If you want to fart and we all howl, the best will be when there's a guest. We don't even tell them. You just like in the middle of an interview, you fart to the microphone, and I'm like, and then we go right back to it. So, tell me, how'd you get into filmmaking? Like the worst
That's
interview.
why we don't have guests anymore.
That's true.
I heard about you guys.
Yeah, I don't want to do this.
Oh, it's a full moon. I'm not coming to your show.
Well, look, to wrap this thing up, the message at the end is Kirk Cameron saying that Jesus was born and that Jesus was God. In like he was, how did he phrase it? It was God in a material body.
Yes.
So Christmas, it only makes sense. Yeah. That Christmas is all about material things. That's how he twisted it.
Yeah.
He's like, because God, this spirit in the sky, basically put himself on Earth in a physical form, we should celebrate with a bunch of materialistic bullshit.
Yeah.
That is the message of the movie.
Because people say capitalism, but who created capitalism? God.
God did.
God.
Holy shit. Like, it's a weird... what a weird... And he's so passionate throughout the whole thing, and then you realize, like, you don't know who he's really fighting with.
No. It's all over the place.
It's got to be the smallest group of people ever. Because the war on Christmas is... Look, I'm sitting here with you. You will proudly say you're an atheist.
100%.
Your house is like a Christmas store.
Yeah.
Like, there's shit everywhere. Because
I love Christmas, admittedly. Love the shit out of Christmas.
And I do too. Maybe not as much as you, but I do still love Christmas. Yeah. And I'm not an atheist. I'm agnostic. I've gotten away from the church and everything. But it's just like, I don't know where the war on Christmas comes from. And then, but his main thing seemed to be
is anyone who doesn't put Christ in Christmas. People like me.
And
that's what the war. That's what they say the war of Christmas is. But to me, it's like, hey, I also enjoy horror movies. Do I want to go out and kill people? Do I want to worship Satan? No, I enjoy that stuff. You know what I mean? I like this. I like that. Does that make me? I like to eat Chinese food.
It's more
Chinese?
It's more cultural, you know, and family tradition than for religious reasons. I
enjoy Christmas,
but he's going at the Christians. Basically, he's a crazy Christian who wants to hang on to all the pagan stuff. So he came up with this way of connecting things.
Yeah, he fan-wanked it.
And it's, oh my God, big time. All right,
before we wrap up, I just want to say this movie notoriously got so many bad reviews on like Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb.
IMDb, when you pulled it up on Amazon, it was 1.5 out of 10.
Yeah. Well, what happened was it was just reviewed as a terrible, terrible, terrible movie in its own right. Just like as a film, it was judged. Kirk Cameron then went all over Twitter and went to like all these different church groups and Christian groups saying like, oh, these are the atheists giving us bad reviews because they hate God and they want to see us tank and everything. Yeah. So he tried getting his people to give it high ratings, and that just turned the internet trolls into a fucking tizzy and just tanked the movie even worse. Yeah. So like a movie that might have got a 3 rating got like a 1 rating because he swore there was an agenda against him, and it wasn't a bad film. As
much as I love watching that guy slide across the floor and Saint Nick it deserves the lowest rating possible. Whatever system it is, whatever the lowest thing is, that's what it deserves.
Yeah, it's a subpar film. It's not technically even a movie. There's no narrative. The only narrative would be the one guy who got upset for a night and sat in his car for an hour.
Yeah.
And then it's all these loose stories tied together even looser by fucking Kirk Cameron telling you
in this cocky know-it-all. I'm going to tell you.
He's a real smug. I'm going to wink at the camera. Fucking brainiac. Yeah. I hate him. He's just a douche.
Yeah, it fucking sucked. It sucked so bad. And I said to you while we were watching it, I was like, this is the thing that's like, this is just being shown in church basements.
Oh, yeah.
And I know what that's like. I was raised Catholic. My mother's not Catholic, so there was also the Staten Island Christian Church, and I would get put into like Bible camp every summer.
Oh, Jesus. Really?
Yeah.
You were in Bible camp?
Yeah, I was in Bible camp, and I had fun with it, but I also I was in a couple plays too.
Oh, boy.
I never talked about any of this.
No.
Oh my God. I was in one, it was like, what the fuck was it called? It was like Starship Jesus or something like that. It was like a whole thing in outer space.
Jesus?
Yeah, we went to space and it was a whole biblical thing and stuff. But like the one that I remember was I was in a play called It's Cool in the Furnace.
What? Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I wore like a robe and like a yarmulke. And they put makeup on me. They put like eyeliner and like it was like just a woman, like somebody's mom, giving us like theater makeup. So it was me and my brother and Mike DiStefano, who is still a good friend of mine. My first friend in the world. He grew up next door.
Yeah, Mike's a cool guy. But what were they making you up to look like?
We were Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Oh boy. Oh no. Where is this going?
And
Oh no.
it's this
This
story.
is what we're doing on Christmas,
Yeah.
aren't we?
It's this story. Fuck. Well, you know what's funny? This always happens.
Yeah.
First of all, anybody. Here's the problem with our podcast. It gets good after an hour.
Yeah.
Like I think that all the time.
It
Like,
got good after 100.
well, because it's
two
like,
episodes.
Because it's like us. We gotta like warm up and everything, and then all of a sudden, like things start firing. And I
Yeah.
forget about shit. So it was this Staten Island Christian Church, and I don't remember which one I was, but I was one of the. I was.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And the story in the Bible is it's these three guys who basically are defending their faith, and I think it might even be old. It's probably Old Testament.
Oh, it has to be if there's guys named Shadrach and Minrock. And definitely Old Testament.
So the story is these guys are sentenced to death, and they're put into a furnace to die. And
Wow.
then,
By Hitler?
and they get put into a furnace, and they don't die. They live. That's the story in the Bible. So we played these guys, and we sang in this fucking play.
Oh god.
And it was like this is fucking weird. This is going way back, but it's Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego lived in Egypt a long time ago. They had funny names and they lived far away, but they knew what to do. They knew what to do and they knew what to say. This is a story that you ought to know about Shadrach. What kind of name is that? Meshach. Who has a name like that? Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's like some. It's so.
All right. On that note, wait, let me just go. God,
I'm gonna hit pause.
Oh my god. Oh.
And we're back.
That song made me have to pee.
They knew what was right. I think that's what they knew. What was right, and they knew what to say. Yeah. So we it was this whole play, and then there's a part where we got put into a furnace, and we danced to a song called "It's Cool in the Furnace," and we rehearsed it a bunch. And then when it actually came time for the show, they built the set. So there was this like they made a furnace.
Yeah.
It was cardboard and like whatever else. We were barefoot. I guess when they built the set, they were using like staples and like tacks and shit.
Oh no.
It was all over the floor.
Oh.
So there's the church is full. It's like all our families, and it's like we're like it's cool in the furnace, and we're dancing. It's me, my brother, and Mike, and we start getting staples and shit
You
like in
became
our
like
feet.
a diehard Christmas.
So we're in the furnace
You're, like,
acting like it's
stepping on
cool, but
glass.
we're like, we're starting to jump around like it's hot. And like, you know what I mean? Like it was like
Yeah.
a crazy. Oh,
my
man.
goodness.
I can't remember. I wish I remember what that. It was like spaceship. Spaceship something. I forget. There was a whole space one. But I know for a fact, Cool in the Furnace definitely exists on VHS
Oh really?
in my mother's house.
Cool in the Furnace. I
It's a
almost wanna
play.
write that down
It's a
as
play.
title,
Yeah,
but
you could
that's
probably
like-
find that. It's
That's
cool.
a ridiculous
Yeah, it's
Christmas episode.
Fuck. How the hell how did we get into that?
I don't know, because I don't know.
Sorry, we were getting into
It's hilarious though.
but talking about like church and how I was
Bible
raised
camp.
and my mother not being camp
Because
and like Bible
we
camp.
said this is the type of movie they only showed in church basements.
Oh yeah. It was at that same church, and this is what I was getting at. So like I would go to Bible camp like and it was just it. Look, I don't think my mom even cared about the religion. It was just a way to get it's summertime. It's a fucking thing to do for a
someone
week.
to keep an eye on.
That probably didn't cost anything. I mean, they would do a thing every day. There was this guy, Mr. Faust, and his wife Penny. They were in charge of the church for a while before this other guy came in later, who literally looked like Ned Flanders. Lived on the corner. He was like the minister was like Ned Flanders, and my stepfather was like Homer Simpson. It was the funniest fucking thing in the world.
Really is like Homer Simpson.
But no, Mr. Faust, we had to like bring in coins, and he would like weigh coins every day, and like whoever got the most weight would win. It was just a way to raise money for the church.
Yeah, dude, my neighbors used to do that.
Pennies weigh the most, so they would always like they'd be like get pennies. And
My neighbor's church did that. I went to my neighbor's church. They're Pentecostal Christian.
Mm-hmm.
I went with them one time because they were like big into it. I was like, they're like, we're going to church. Come with us. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And it was like people speaking in tongues and rolling around on the floor.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was like, this isn't for me.
This wasn't
Have
like
fun.
that. But it was a lot
They
of
did
like
the penny thing.
singing and dancing, and like Mr. Faust. He would teach us songs. It was a lot of like, what was the one song? It was like, one day I left my hat upon the subway. Yeah, it's like, and then it was like, a big fat lady came and sat upon it. Like it was a whole like,
really?
oh, he had all these like,
Who knew there were lyrics to that song?
yeah,
Right? This is just like an Italian.
yeah, and he had these, he had lyrics to everything. They were always like funny lyrics, and it wasn't always religious. It was, I'm trying to think of like
about fat ladies and hats.
A big fat lady sat upon my hat. My hat she broke. My hat she broke. My hat she broke. Then that's no joke. She was so fat she broke my hat. Christopher Columbus. Now what do you think of that? That was yeah.
Wow.
We're untapping. You're unlocking all kinds of weird shit. Yeah.
Oh man.
And his wife Penny like taught Sunday school to like Billy Joel. That was her big like claim to fame. She used to always tell us that.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, but so we used to go there, and they showed us a film one time though, and it really was like kind of those like they set up a projector, and they put this film on, and I was a kid, and then it was just like Bible camp, and suddenly it was like it was literally a God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Oh.
Yeah, it was the first time I ever heard that. They used those words. It was like, God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. And they show like two guys in the Garden of Eden, and it's like question mark. And it was a whole film about how homosexuality was wrong. And I remember as a kid, like, just wanting to leave. Like, even as a kid, and even though that was probably what was...
So I grabbed my boyfriend and walked out.
It just felt like... It just didn't feel right to me.
Yeah.
Even though my family definitely didn't... I wasn't raised to think that it was okay, or... You know what I mean? Like, but it was just something sitting there, and it's just like... It just seemed wrong. I could feel like I felt like I was like, oh, you're trying to brainwash me. Like I remember having that thought.
Well, I know what you're saying, and I don't even think it's like the thoughts of like I even know what homosexuality is at that age. I think it's like they're showing me people who aren't doing anything wrong, and they're telling me it's wrong. You know what I mean? They're showing like kids throwing rocks through a window, and you're like, that's bad. Don't do that. Like you're like, oh, okay. But you're showing like two guys that are in love, and you're like, that's bad. It doesn't rub you right as
you're
a kid.
right, because even as a kid, it's just kind of like, you know, you steal, you see how that hurts somebody.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you can make the connection about how certain things hurt other people, and I'm looking at this, and I'm just like,
what are they doing wrong here? Why are they being condemned for this?
Yeah, it was very, very...
It's a tough pill to swallow.
It was
anybody. Weird. The people who do get on board with that are like that's the people you have to watch out for.
Yeah.
People with that inherent hate are like, oh, I am going, look at them. Like,
hey,
what are they doing? Like, those are as kids, you got to weed that. That's what you got to tell your kids. Like, you got to, like, tell them, like, watch out for people like that.
You know what? The thing to teach your kid, and it can get them into some trouble, but it's just, you question everything.
Yeah.
Question everything. Somebody tells you something... Do your own research. Look into that.
Yeah.
Don't just somebody tells you something and don't just go, oh, okay. I don't care if it's your teacher, it's a priest, it's the president of the United States, especially now.
Oof.
Whatever it is, fucking question everything.
Yeah.
But I love Bible camp. They would have different groups come in from other states. It'd be the kind of thing like, so this one year it was like a bunch of people from a church in Ohio got on a bus, came to Staten Island, and they ran the Bible camp that year.
Oh, okay.
And there was like this cute girl, Katie from Ohio. She was like a 16-year-old girl. I'm like an 8-year-old kid.
Oh, yeah,
we all had a crush on her.
What are you, Anakin Skywalker? You got no chance.
Are you an angel? I carved this for you out of a pork snippet.
John's favorite part, John's favorite movie.
What's the other?
My name is Anakin, and I'm a person.
Yeah.
That's Wizard, Johnny.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So that was Bible camp.
I had no idea.
Bible camp. I have a
You know we
memory
have to
from
stop
Bible
being
camp.
friends now.
And this is the way it was when my mother married my stepfather. He lived next door to my aunt, so it was our house, my aunt's house, and then the church was next to that.
Yes.
And there's literally gates that go from my parents' yard to my aunt's yard, and a gate that goes from her yard to the church. It was that like shared. And my aunt was so involved with the church that part of when they did Bible camp, there was always a group in her screenhouse.
Yeah.
That would happen. And I remember being in her screenhouse making a cross out of matchsticks.
Oh.
And I had just been watching stand-up comedy on Comedy Central. It's like late 80s.
Yeah.
And I remember, this is a weird memory, because I remember it because I got upset, and it's weird that I can pinpoint it to this moment. I'm gluing matchsticks to a cross, and I'm thinking about stand-up comedy, and I wanted so bad to be a stand-up comic, and I was really upset because I was like, I'm way too shy to ever do that. It was like a thought I had, and it upset the shit out of me as a child.
Well, when you wish upon a matchstick, your dreams do come true, John.
Isn't it weird that I remember that?
Yeah.
I remember that thought. Like, there's no way. And then even when I met you, I was the guy, I was like, I'm just going to write. I'll be back here.
Yeah.
If you want me to be in a thing, give me a mask, give me a wig.
Yeah, you would never.
I didn't do stand-up. I've been doing
Yeah.
stand-up now for 10 years, but I was like 26 when I first did it. I remember being upset in my aunt's screenhouse, making her cross out of matchsticks,
Oh,
wanting to be a stand-up comic.
you've come far.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway. Now
Oh,
what?
boy.
Hey, we have presents.
You want to do presents?
Is it presents?
It's Christmas. All right. Well, you know what? I want to open first.
And we're releasing this. Merry Christmas to listeners.
Yeah,
We're releasing
Merry
this on
Christmas,
Christmas
guys.
Day, a day early.
It's true.
Yeah. I hope you enjoy your present of a podcast.
Good luck unwrapping this under your tree. We got a box here
Yeah, we had something mailed to us.
from the Han and Chewy of Tennessee. Our good friends Emily Gonzalez and John Hatfield.
Yeah, thank you so much. They're
Yeah,
so
she's the queen of slaps.
so sweet. They
Yeah.
for
You guys
people
didn't
who
have to
don't
say
know, they drove up from Tennessee for our 100th episode. And God, that was a long drive for them. What did it take them? 19 hours or something? It was a hell of a trip.
Because 19 is like Florida.
They came all the way out for the 100th.
there's a letter
Guys,
here.
thank you so much. You don't have to give us anything.
I know.
We appreciate it so much. So what do you got? You got a card?
For our wonderful Super Live family. You want to read it? Or you want me to read it?
You can read it. That's cool. It says Merry Christmas, y'all, in the box.
Yeah. Yeah, you wrote all over it. I love it.
So sweet.
Comfort and joy. Hey, guys. Thank you again for helping us get to New York for your 100th episode and for the awesome hospitality shown.
Yeah, we all went out to dinner,
Yeah.
and we had a nice time
That
with
was a cool time. We love the podcast and we love you. We hope you and your families have a Merry Christmas and a kick-ass start of the new year. Love, Em and John, a.k.a. Han and Chewy.
I love it.
Oh, look at this.
What do you got?
Oh, may the warmth of the season fill your heart with cheer. P.S. The stockings are all labeled. Enjoy. And a Blues Brother decal.
Yeah, it's like a vinyl
Aw.
decal.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
What's this one? Oh, my goodness.
What'd you
Can
get?
you read what this says?
I can't from here. Let me see.
Hold it up to the light.
I've got a meatball obsession.
Oh!
And it's in like the Star Wars
Yeah.
font.
That's amazing.
Oh, what that is!
Thank you. Oh, that's going right on my car.
Wow. And Blues Brothers.
That's
Thank
going
you
right
guys
on my
so
car.
much.
Oh,
I don't know if I want to put this on my car or my laptop. This is great. That's enough already. There's a whole
Yeah.
box here.
Oh my god. Okay, this is to John from
Okay.
Emily.
Thank you.
I have a to Chris from Emily. Oh my god, there's so much stuff in here.
Wow, they really loaded. Oh, this is a Blues Brothers mug.
Oh,
Look at that.
Oh, that's cool.
This might be my new mug at work. I'm at work. I always
They match. Oh, I got a mug that says "I've got a meatball obsession" in the Star Wars font. So they match everything.
Oh my
Like,
god.
Oh, that's cool.
These are new podcast mugs, I think.
Yeah.
We got to drink a booze. ooze out of these. I love a mug for everything. You know that when I'm at home, I have actually. I'll start my day with a cup of coffee and then just rinse it, and then whatever I'm drinking, I just all day. I love a mug.
I'm like that too. Oh, this is to Christine and to Brienne, our wives.
Gifts for our wives.
Oh, thank you guys.
Oh, so we'll let them open those.
Yeah, we'll save those for the fam. Oh, it's to Wyatt. They bought presents for the children.
Oh, for your kids.
You guys, you should not have done this whole craziness. Oh, this is to Chris. Oh, my God. It's a huge, heavy stocking. They got us stockings. You know, it's funny. I wish I would have held off because I was away over the weekend in Pennsylvania. I was at a Christmas shop.
Yeah.
And I just bought new stockings for me and Brienne because I couldn't find them. And I literally told the woman, I was like, I'd rather pay $20 for new stockings than look in my basement. And she laughed and she's like, yeah, I get it. Which I wish I held off because these are fucking kick-ass
Star Wars stockings?
Yeah. To John from John.
Oh, my God. Thank you, John.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, and it's like classic Star Wars comic book art. I love that.
Yeah. The stockings are from John, and the presents were from Emily. Oh, boy.
And I got a candy cane of Skittles.
Oh, it opened up.
It opened up. That's all right.
Yeah.
I got a stocking full of Skittles. So...
I got Reese's also.
Milk chocolate truffles.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
What is this? Oh, it's a little easel-y thing?
Yeah, Reese's Pieces.
Oh, it's a little, like, picture frame holder.
I didn't expect this to be so much.
Oh, man, there's all
cookies.
Snacks. Cookies as well. Oh, you guys are completely insane.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh, look at these. Now, I saw John was making these. What would you call? They're like little pot holders.
Or
almost like a little tile.
I'd say it's like a coaster.
Yeah, like a coaster. That's it. Yeah.
It's with the pixelated me and the pixelated you from our logo.
Yeah, which is great because
oh my God,
John gave me the picture of you.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's how we like it.
I like how.
I got the picture of you, and you have the picture of me.
Oh my God!
Like
how cool is that?
Here.
He made those?
Yeah, I believe he's making. Oh, I got like a Spider-Man comic ornament.
Oh, this nice.
Is that Christmas Vacation wrapping paper?
That's Christmas Vacation wrapping paper.
Oh,
I don't know what's in there.
You people from Tennessee, I love you guys.
I got an ornament in here too.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's so cool.
Oh, that's cool. Check this out. It's like a Spider-Man ornament, but it's all like cut up like Spider-Man.
That's what I got.
That's what you got too? Yeah.
All right, what's wrapped up here? This goes with the... Oh, my God!
It's like loose.
Oh, John, that is amazing.
What do you have?
Look at... Okay. There's the picture holder.
Oh, like a little easel?
And a little picture of Vigo the Carpathian from Ghostbusters 2.
Oh, my God. This is too much.
My favorite Carpathian despot.
I feel like Christmas is in a few days. We're opening all this stuff from listeners, and like, you know what I got from my wife?
What?
Nothing so far.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
Oh, this is so cool.
Do you see what this is? It's a. Wow! Yeah. It talks.
Yes. It's the season of evil.
And look at what I got.
Find me a child so I might live again. Was it a dragon egg?
It's a yeah.
That's amazing. Oh, that's cool. It's like a Game of Thrones.
It's like a Game of Thrones dragon egg.
You're a Dothraki bride now.
Well, yeah. You guys, this is above and beyond. Way too much. Very much appreciated.
So much.
I'm gonna ring the bell for you two.
Yes.
Love you guys.
Here. Love you guys as well. I'm ringing the Tennessee bell.
The Tennessee bell, also from them.
Yeah.
Holy cow. This is...
Oh my goodness, this Vigo painting
above and beyond.
Amazing.
Guys, this is these coasters and...
Yeah.
Holy cow.
You guys.
Too much.
Thank you so much.
Really,
Merry Christmas.
This is incredibly sweet. Merry Christmas.
You know what? I just got to say, all you other fans, you got to step it up. You guys got to step it up. Because you guys don't come close to Emily and John. You guys are the best. Oh, thank you. We love you guys. Thank you so
love
much.
you too. Thank you.
Oh boy.
Holy cow, dude! This is crazy.
Yeah, we have a whole.
Look at this.
We made out like bandits. Yeah, these coasters are. So
We got to bring. You know
cool.
what? I think they should live in the bag.
They live in the bay and they come to every live show.
They come out, and that's those are our coasters for our drinks.
Yeah.
100%.
Put my drink on it right now. Put my drink on your face.
Yep.
So hey, you
and
guys.
I'll put mine on yours.
You guys are with us every show anyway with the bell, but now you guys are even more with us on every show.
With the coasters and the mugs.
Well, thank you.
Love you guys. Thank
Love
you. Well, I have something for you,
Oh, I got something for you too.
and I have something for. Well,
Oh,
me-
cat.
let me give you. This is
The cat sees something.
that's just for you and Brienne
Oh, thank you.
to celebrate.
Well, I'll wait for her. I don't want to
Oh well, all right, but for the
because that's
it's-
she got something for
but
Christine.
for the
there.
podcast,
All
it's,
right.
it's just a bottle of champagne for you two to
Oh.
celebrate the new year,
Oh, thank you.
ringing the new year.
Oh, Moet and Chandon. Thank you. Pop the holes in the ceiling some more
Yeah.
with the champagne. Like we did
Send
last
another
time.
cork through the ceiling.
This is for me.
That is for you.
Okay, this is for you.
and this is for Wyatt and Wesley. This is for Chris's. I got something for
Oh, thank
for the
you.
for the kids. Thanks, man.
You got it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I got you two things. That's the first thing.
Oh, you're not getting me two.
I was only planning on getting you one thing, but then I saw this and I was like, "Oh man! Oh, this is awesome!"
It's another record.
Yes. No, you know what? I was thinking about buying this.
Were you
after
really?
The yeah, because I was looking at
Because you
the
looked.
Gremlins one.
I was. You know, it's funny when I gave you the Gremlins record. So I got Chris a Gremlins record for his birthday
Yeah.
from Mondo, and I was worried you'd go to the website and see that.
I was, yeah. Oh, you bastard! I was this close to buying, but I was like, I'm not gonna buy myself a Christmas present. It's the Back to the Future score by Alan Silvestri. Oh my goodness! First time available on vinyl, and it's all the artwork's done by the Mondo people. It's some of my favorite artwork. Oh, this is so cool! Thank
Dude,
you.
and this
You see
I'm
that?
looking at. So Chris got me Bad Dads art inspired by the films of Wes Anderson. So this is like an art show that happens
Yeah.
every year. We always want to go and we always can't.
Yeah.
Every
well, now
time.
we can look at the book. together.
Dude, this is beautiful. This stuff is I you know it's funny too. Like I've seen a lot of this,
Yeah. They have
Oh.
the pieces that you have hanging up. Yeah.
but this is the same exactly.
That's the same artist
That's the same
that did
artist.
the Life Aquatic one. Yeah, he did like a Royal Tenenbaum one.
Oh.
Oh, this is awesome.
I
Dude, look
love
how
that Wes
80s
Anderson
this
inspired
looks.
this much artwork. This is a beautiful
Yeah.
book.
It's a cool book. Yeah, I recommend that anyone
Oh,
pick it
my
up if they
God.
get a chance.
Dude, I would tear every page out and frame it.
Yeah.
I actually have this in a frame. This one, Bill Murray with the wine bottle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because when I ordered a print from the People's Print Shop,
Yes.
is that right? And they threw in that as like a postcard,
Oh, that's cool.
and I just have that in a frame. Oh,
I love
this
when
is
companies do that.
yeah, me too. This is beautiful,
Yeah,
man.
it's a cool book, right?
Oh my God. Thank you. All right, yeah,
You
I should
got
look at it
I'm
later.
not gonna lie. I picked
don't
one
wanna-
up for
I don't-
myself also.
Yeah, of
because it
course.
looked that cool. And I was like, I'm gonna get one for me too.
I don't want to. I don't want to bore the listeners too much. This episode's more for you and me.
Is that for the boys?
Oh wait,
Don't
what's
open that. That's for the
I'm
boys.
opening their thing.
Don't
You told me
open
you got
anything.
two things. I just grabbed another
Yeah.
present. I'm opening Wyatt Wesley's gift. Christine wrapped it.
And there you go. That's something.
All right, and this is the. Sorry,
I was
shot.
Like, here.
Why are you opening my kid's present? I just grabbed the box that I
Thank
brought
you
to your
for
house.
that. Thank Christine. for
Oh
this.
yeah, man.
This is.
I got them. I'll tell you. It's I don't know if they have it already. It's like a Millennium Falcon and like a TIE fighter that you have to like put together. They're like model.
Yeah.
They're like model kits, but they're like
No, they
super
don't have-
simple
yeah?
for like little kids.
Oh, that's perfect.
so you like build the
Oh,
two.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll.
Oh,
I
thank-
think they'll like it. What is this? Sorry, I grabbed their present and started opening it.
You want a knife or something to open it? It has like a tape on it. It's a.
I got
It's
it.
a old vintagey box.
Oh, I know what this is.
You know what that is?
I know what it just. I didn't even see the text, and I know what this is. Oh my God, I know
yeah,
what this is. 'cause
I
I've seen
tracked
this.
one of those down.
If you Google Super Live Adventure and you start digging deep enough, you'll see memorabilia from the actual George Lucas like.
the show in
Show.
Japan that we mentioned a little earlier.
And this is it's a clock. It's a digital clock. God, copyright 1992, and it's C-3PO and R2-D2 with a digital clock on a huge stand. It says George Lucas's Super Live Adventure.
That's
Oh
cool,
my
right?
God. Dude.
That's cool.
Thank you.
I
man.
was. It just popped in my head. I was like, I gotta track this down.
Oh.
Getting
all caught in my cables. Give me
I
a
love
hug.
you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Oh.
Oh, that's amazing. That should be our. That's how we should keep track of the time on the show. Oh, how fucking cool is
Yeah,
that?
right?
I feel like we got to take pictures of all this, I think.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Not
Once we wrap
recommended
it up.
for children 8 years and under.
I got to take it back.
What's
Sorry,
a
John.
7-year-old going to do with a clock? How's he going to hurt himself with a digital clock? How is this not appropriate for any age?
I don't know. Fuck George Lucas.
That's so great.
Just has his
Oh.
name, and they're like,
Dude, I've seen that. I've seen that online. It's amazing that I looked down at it and I just saw. I love that I knew what that was right away.
yeah, I love that you did too.
Oh,
Hey,
what a amazing Christmas!
I know. This cat stole my seat. Can I have my seat back, please? Can I have my seat back? Oh boy! All right,
Look at
come
us
on.
getting drunk, doing a Christmas show.
Getting seats stolen by cats.
Well, we're at a little over an hour and a half.
yeah.
It's late, but I'm up. What do you want to do? You want to talk about anything else?
Well,
The thing I wanted to get into that's not
Yeah, you will-
not a Christmas thing.
well, it is Christmassy. We're talking about presents for the kids, and you have a kid on the way,
Well, wait,
which I wish he was here by Christmas because that would be fun.
he could be.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we still got a few more days.
I mean, my wife's only she's doing 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So I mean, I hope she goes full term. I want, you know what I mean?
Tree
Like
might
it's-
still be up when he comes.
but there's a possibility he'll
Yeah.
be here this year. You never know.
But you were asking me about pediatricians that we take our kids to.
And you recommended a pediatrician that was recommended to us by a couple other people.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. And so people don't know, because I didn't know, you can, when you're having a kid, you got to pick a pediatrician before the kid's born.
Yeah.
Because when you're in the hospital, basically once the kid's born, it's like you're just, like one doctor gets tagged out and the pediatrician comes in. That's kind of like how it works.
Yeah, everyone has like a specialty.
And you
in a
can
way.
you can interview, and you should interview pediatricians to make sure you're happy with the person. So we set up and where you go, it's a team of doctors.
Yeah.
It's like 8 different doctors, and they all specialize in different things. And that's one of the things you said you liked about it, which is like different people specialize in different things. A friend of mine, her daughter actually had a lot of issues when she was first born, and these doctors were amazing, and there were surgeries and everything, and like the kid's doing great.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like that was the ultimate like positive recommendation, which was just like kid had some really like serious health problems, and they really
That's scary.
they did-
That's
and-
real
and
scary.
they-
I don't know what I would do.
and they handled it beautifully, and the kid's doing great. So
Good.
that was huge for me. But I was not expecting this guy, and as soon as he walked in, I was like, if Chris knows this guy and never said anything about him, I don't because he came in and like we get there, and there's like a receptionist that's kind of talking to us first before he gets there, and it's excuse me, it's us and like 2 other couples, and then a mom that's there by herself. But we're all there just to.
Yeah, waiting room is the pits.
So it's 4
I
pregnant.
hate that.
It's
Waiting
four
room.
4 pregnant women,
Yeah.
3 husbands, right?
Yeah.
And the receptionist is talking to us, and he gives us like a bag to take home of like, it's like a business card and like free, some free shit for the
yeah.
baby. And then this guy comes in. I don't want to say his name because as impressed as I am, it was so fucking wacky. But he's like this little Italian guy,
Yeah.
and he's got one eye closed, and he's like, "Hey, everybody, I'm here." And he just like, and he sits
He's doing his
down.
Columbo impression.
It was crazy because, by the way, the eye does open. It's not like he's missing an eye.
No. Well, it's like Popeye. He can open that eye, but he doesn't.
Most of the time, one eye's closed.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the times, both eyes are closed. He's doing the thing where he closes his eyes while he talks to you.
Yeah.
But he comes in and he's talking a mile a minute. And and he's sniffling in between every like few words, and the language that he used was like not what you'd normally get from like a doctor.
Oh, he's like cursing and cussing and swearing?
Yeah. Well, first of all,
see, I've seen this guy, and I don't remember anything that weird.
he's not cursing right
There's
away.
another weird guy I have a story to follow this up with, but
He's not cursing right away, but he's sitting there and he's talking. He's saying like, "All right, so if you got, let's say you're gonna breastfeed the baby, right? You pull your boob out and you put the baby on the boob. This is how he's talking.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, he's saying boob, and he goes, and you put the baby on your breast, right? 45 minutes. That's it. 45 minutes. You put it together. These nurses, they'll tell you put the baby on there longer. These babies will tear you apart.
look what one did to my
That's what
eye.
he said.
Yeah.
He goes, these babies will tear you apart. All right, you get a crack, and then it's over, and then you're not breastfeeding.
Crack?
No, yeah.
Like in the nipple?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that I could do that.
dude. He was,
Ooh.
and then he's talking about and he's talking about change, and he goes, all right, now, so you got the baby wipes, right? You use the baby wipes. Okay, the baby takes a dump. Fine, use a baby wipe. Baby takes, you got he's got a duty in there. You clean it up.
He said a duty?
He said a duty. He said a dump.
Oh,
This
boy,
is-
this guy, yeah, he's using the real technical terms now.
This is how he's talking, and he's going a mile a minute, and he's sniffling. He's got an eye closed, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, "This is the pediatrician." I was like, "I don't know if he's right for the kid, but I have to see this guy again." Like I was just like, you know what I mean? I was like, I have to. I feel like
I have to party with this
I
guy. He's
always-
obviously doing copious amounts of cocaine.
Dude, I was talking to Joe and Bergio about this at work, and I was like, when you do comedy, I think for other people, things might be a little too weird, or things might be annoying or a hassle.
Mhm.
In comedy, like the weirdest things and the shitty things, they're gifts.
Oh, that's what you want.
It's a fucking gift. You're like, oh, this is a gift.
Yeah.
This guy, like, this just fell into my lap. I have this doctor talking with one eye closed, and he's just like, he's out of his mind, and he's wacky as shit. So there's a lady there, and we've done some of these like baby classes, like CPR and all this stuff and everything, and like what to do in the delivery room. And there's every class, there's always that mom who read every book and did a ton of research, and she's coming in a little bit like she's got a plan for everything.
Yeah.
And when you meet with a
Super
pediatrician, look, if you go online, it's like, oh, when you meet with a pediatrician, these are the questions you're supposed to ask. So she's clearly that woman. And by the way, I recognize her. I think I had a class with her in college.
Oh.
She walked into the room, and it was like that fuzzy memory where I'm like, I don't remember who you are. I think it's from college. I don't remember.
Familiar.
All my brain is telling me is you're a pain in the ass. Like, it just, she came in, I was like, oh, this lady.
Yeah.
And sure enough, right? So then the doctor, he goes, all right, does anybody have any questions for me? And she goes, I was wondering, I wanted to ask you about your medical philosophy.
What?
And he goes, my medical philosophy? That's how he says it, right?
Yeah.
And she goes, well, I'm just with regards to medicine and your practice, what is your philosophy? And he leaned in real close with an eye closed, and he goes, science, man.
Holy shit.
He called him man.
That's
Science, man.
like fucking George Carlin.
It was the greatest thing. It was so fucking funny. And she's like thrown off.
Did you laugh out loud?
I like to myself. I'm like, really, it's the kind of thing I did. But you know what? It was
Did
like,
you LOL, John?
I did LOL. But it was kind of what I liked about him. It was a lot of like, you would ask a question. Like, I asked him a question about circumcision.
Yeah.
And he goes, all right, the American standard is this, and this is what I'm supposed to tell you. Now, what I'm not supposed to tell you is this. And I'm not supposed to tell you that because you can sue me, but I'm telling you that's what every other country does all over the world.
What's that?
Except he was talking about like how you clean an uncircumcised penis compared to how you do it here. But I like a guy who's just like, I'm supposed to tell you this. I'm not supposed to tell you. Like, he's basically going like,
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
The same woman who asked about the philosophy of
What
of
a
medicine.
douchebag.
Then she goes,
He didn't shut her down with that. She had more follow-ups.
oh, she had more, but not this shut her down.
Oh, good.
She goes, part of what you're saying about breastfeeding, it kind of contradicts what I've been told by a lactation specialist.
A lactation
that I've been meeting with.
Specialist.
And she goes, my lactation specialist said blah 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 blah, which is different than what you're telling me now. And he goes, okay, here's the thing with these lactation specialists. They're full of shit. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit.
He said it like that? Fucking
Swear to God. He's like, it's bullshit. I'm sorry. But and he just goes off and he just cursed. And now I'm like,
yeah.
I'm in.
You're on board. Yeah.
I'm in with this guy.
Is the guy I want to
and I
deliver
see
my
her
baby.
like, she's there with this guy.
I want this Popeye cussing like a sailor over here to deliver
Dude,
my
it's
kid.
and I'm sitting there looking at him going like, if Chris has had I was like, either Chris doesn't deal with this guy much.
Nothing like that. I've dealt with him, but not like I didn't have crazy time with him.
The best was
You might have caught him on a real
still
raw
my
day.
philosophy. Science, man.
I smoking weed, dude.
He was unbelievable. Even at the end, he goes, "All right, so you got your goodie bags in there. There's we got thermometers in there. There's rectal thermometers, and they're from Germany. Now you probably got a fancy thermometer. You stick it in the kid's ear, and you measure the temperature of the earwax, and it's bullshit. What I gave you, what you do is you take that and you sell it and use the money and put it toward the kid's college fund. What you want is the rectal thermometer. You put a little KY or olive oil, whatever you got, stick it in there, and I'm like, he's telling me to put olive oil
on your kid's ass. He is Popeye, indeed, huh?
He's unbelievable.
Wow,
that's the guy. That's the
put
doctor.
olive oil in my ass.
I can't wait for
one finger.
I can't wait for. Oh God.
Oh, Popeye!
I can't wait for my kid to get sick. I want to go back, but it probably won't be him. It's a whole team.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. Well, you
It's a whole
can
team.
request Dr. So-and-so and be like, but you have to go in when Dr. So-and-so's there.
This is like the top guy.
Yeah. There's another guy who, that's what I thought it was the same guy when you were like, oh, short little Italian guy. There's another short little Italian guy.
Right.
But, different guy, but a wacky person too. He'll come in and he does the old like, oh, I'm going to put the stethoscope in your ear. Who's in here? Oh, Elmo? Who's in this here? Cookie Monster? And like my kid's 7. He's like, I don't fucking watch Sesame Street anymore. Like, come on, man. I watched Sesame Street 5 years. But every time, your kid can go in there for a sore throat. It doesn't matter. I've never seen another doctor do this. Every time, he's like, oh, let me check the stomach. Let me put down the pants. And he goes, let me check the mozzarella and the pepperoni.
Okay.
And he's doing all that, but he calls it the mozzarella and the pepperoni. He calls your kids dick and balls.
Where are we taking our kids?
I don't know.
What are we doing?
Fucking Randazzo's Clam Bar over
But
here.
you're like me. That doesn't scare you away. That makes you
I'm like, oh, this guy knows his way around a delicatessen. I want him treating my children. But he's like, every time, a little, how's your mozzarella?
Those made me throw up. Maniac. This is what we're doing. This is what we do.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Science, man.
That should be the title. Kirk Cameron sitting there. Science, man.
Science, man. Well, I think it's probably about time to wrap it up.
Well, John, what about our big musical
guest? I do want to tease the next episode.
Oh, yeah.
Chris and I have both seen Star Wars Rogue One.
I've seen it twice. You guys do your homework. Go see it.
You saw it twice. I saw it once.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I should see it a second time to talk about it. I don't feel the need to see it a second time, to be totally honest. I didn't hate it. There's things I loved. There's things I hated.
Yeah.
Really. And I can't wait to talk about it. We're saving it because people need time to see it. There's a busy time, holiday season. So next week, when the episode comes out, we're gonna tackle that. So just telling you in advance, spoiler
Are we doing
alert.
all Rogue One, or are we going to just do like the first half or the second half?
Let's see how.
Cover what happened during Christmas with at home.
It
if
probably won't
anything
be
fun
all.
happens.
Yeah, so it's a good. You bring up a good point. And anytime we do something like that, if we're going to talk about other stuff, we do it at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So if you haven't seen it, we will give you plenty of warning.
Yeah, we'll give you a heads up. We won't just dive
So that you
right
can
into it.
shut the podcast and come back to it after you've seen it.
Huge spoiler.
Everyone should see it.
Huge spoiler. The
You sure? People could tune out.
the Death Star gets blown up at the following movie.
In the movie
So they
after
do get the plans. Huge spoiler. Those plans they were looking for, they got them.
But we'll tackle it. We'll get into it. I'm excited about that. But do you have anything else that you need to plug?
Is that time? Yeah, January 7th. Is that in time?
We both have
Yes.
shows.
We both have shows.
So
January
go ahead.
7th.
January 7th for you.
I'll I'll be with my band While We Skiffle Crazies at the historic Richmond Town's Tavern.
I love that show.
It's one of the best shows.
By the way, I mean, for people who are listening seriously, if you want to make the trip to Staten Island, it is an intimate, candlelit.
What's intimate means I have my pants off.
That's right.
No,
But it's totally acoustic, no electricity. It's at historic Richmond Town. It's like
there's no electricity in the building. I'm not saying just like we tell you to turn your
it's
phone
this
off.
old tavern. It's you're seeing a show in it's a very cool way to see a show.
Yeah, it's like a building from the 1800s.
But tight, right?
Yeah.
Like really, like it's only a few people can really go to this thing.
Yeah.
and it's so much fun.
it sells out quick. There's a big pot-bellied stove in the middle. So
Two shows.
I don't remember the times. I know it's like one's like 6-ish, one's like 8-ish. But if you go to historicrichmondtown.org, you can find out all the info. Click on the button or the link for tavern concerts.
Mm-hmm.
Buy your tickets. I suggest buying them now. They sell out super, super fast. And like I said, you could check that for the times. Tickets are cheap. I think they're like $10, $15 at the most. Yeah, come check us out if you've never seen us. We are
It's the best.
country's greatest jug band. But
I had a great time last year.
thanks. Yeah, it's a fun show. But if you don't want to come that night, go see John.
Well, I'm doing a show also on Staten Island the same night. I don't have any details. I'm not sure what they're still working. I don't know the time. I don't know how much, but I'm going to be at the Looney Bin, which is a comedy club on Staten Island in Travis, the neighborhood I grew up in.
Is that like where Pete Davidson was doing
Pete
stand-up?
Davidson
Yeah, it was
absolutely
like
started out doing stand-up there.
Yeah.
But January 7th, I will be at the Looney Bin, and there's a very good chance that you can see my show and Chris's show.
I think so, actually.
I really I think so. Definitely
Especially if you go to that early show.
get your tickets for Chris's show. That does sell out.
Yeah.
Don't worry about my show. That will. You can definitely just walk in. And
if I can swing by, if I can swing both, I'll jump over to
if I could, and I would love to go over to yours.
Looney Bin because it's not that far from Richmond Town.
That's super easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super easy to do both. And I think that'll be the case. I think next week I'll know more.
Okay. Cool.
I was just asked if I was available.
If the times are right, any fans want to do that, I'll go. I'm gonna.
It'd be so much fun.
Yeah. So you can catch a ride with me.
It'd be so much fun, and I got a bunch of new material that I've been doing lately that I'm excited about. So
Cool.
Yeah, come out to that. So we've been teasing for a while now. That we were going to do our big Christmas show, and look, it's no secret we wanted to do a live show.
Yeah.
At the Culture Lounge shut down. We wanted to collaborate with Manny Rondon and Jay Miller. Schedules just didn't line up. This is a busy time of year. My wife is calling me. Shit. I'm going to pause this.
Yes.
Because she's pregnant. And we're back.
We're back.
My wife is not going into labor. She's scared because it's 2 a.m. and I'm not home.
You're just concerned about the time. I had no idea it was.
Well,
this
we
late.
watched. Really, I got here late. We watched a whole movie.
Yeah.
And now this is almost a 2-hour podcast.
Yeah, it makes sense. When we started, it was like literally midnight.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! I had no idea we were even going.
There's no avoiding it. The good. You're off tomorrow. I have a 10 a.m. start. Like I'll be tired tomorrow, but not miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. And then there's a breastfeeding class tomorrow.
Oh, should I bring my own bib?
Yeah, you should.
Like passing them out there.
All right. Well, so back to what we were talking about. We have been teasing this forever. We're very excited to have a big musical guest doing a Christmas classic in a very new way.
I didn't think we were going to get this guest.
No,
but,
I didn't think so either.
All the planets aligned. We got him.
Here
got
we go.
This person.
Oh, I don't want a lot for Christmas. There are just two things I need. I don't care about the other podcasts. They don't generally fill my needs. I just want my Chris and John drinking, laughing, going on. Make my wish come true. Ooh, all I want for Christmas is you too. Happy Christmas, boys, from Gail in the UK. I'd like to think I'm your biggest UK fan, and if I fully intend to be after Christmas when I've eaten the fuck out of Christmas. Happy Christmas, boys. Love you both, and I cannot wait to catch up with you for a bit in February. Love you. Bye.
Gail from Practical Podcast, everybody.
Gail Thompson. I didn't know we were going to be able to land it, but
we did it.
yeah, we got her.
We love you, Gail.
We love you. That was phenomenal. Thank you
Yeah.
for being our big Christmas super show spectacular guest.
Check out Practical Podcast if you like a Practical Jokers and you want to hear some British ladies who love the show talk about it.
That's true.
Yeah,
They're great. They're all great over there.
and she said Happy Christmas.
Yeah, that's very English.
Happy Christmas, Chris.
Happy Christmas, John.
And you know what else?
What's that?
Fit it where you should it.
Oh.
It was better than Kirk Cameron's thing, right?
That's debatable.